May 16, 2019 Executive Committee Conference Call of the North Carolina State Board of Education. I'm Eric Davis, Chair of the Board, and I call this meeting to order. I now ask Dr. Townsend Smith to call the roll to determine that we have a quorum of the Board participating, and I note to all listening that the Executive Committee quorum is 4 members. Dr. Townsend Smith?
Yes, sir. Dr. Oxendine?
Here.
Ms. White?
Here.
Vice Chair Duncan?
Here.
Chair Davis?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Board members are reminded that it's our duty to avoid conflicts of interest and the appearance of conflicts of interest as we handle the work of this board. Does any member of the board know of any conflict of interest or any appearance of conflict with respect to any matters coming before us at this meeting? If so, please state them for the record. If during the course of the meeting you become aware of an actual or apparent conflict of interest, please bring the matter to the attention of the chair, and it will be your duty to abstain from participating in discussion on the matter and from voting on the matter. Board members, you've seen the agenda for this May 16, 2019 meeting and had the opportunity to review it. Ask if any requests for changes to the agenda, and if not, I request a motion for approval. Is there a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Motion by Dr. Oxendine. Is there a second? Second. Second by Vice Chair Duncan. Dr. Townsend Smith?
Yes, sir. Dr. Oxendine?
Yes.
Ms. White?
Yes.
Vice Chair Duncan?
Yes.
Chair Davis?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Thank you, Dr. Townsend Smith. We'll now proceed directly to our report from the FAST-NC Steering Committee. And before I call on former State Superintendent Mike Ward to provide the FAST-NC Steering Committee report, I want to take a moment to thank Mr. Ward and other members of the Steering Committee who came together to make FAST-NC so successful. This effort started in September of 2018 after Hurricane Florence caused devastating damage across our state. We'll hear today that the FAST-NC work will conclude with one more application round remaining. The work of this committee allowed FAST-NC to be a successful, nonpartisan effort to contribute to restoring equitable resources to public schools and the educators and students in North Carolina. I now call on Mr. Ward as chair of the FAST-NC Steering Committee. Mr. Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Those are kind words. We really have enjoyed being engaged with this work, and board members, you've made an incredible difference in the lives of a lot of teachers and school leaders, and especially in the lives of students through this work. And we thank you for the privilege of being able to be engaged with FAST-NC. We have rounds 11 and 12 this morning. The applications from those rounds for you to consider. Before we go to those applications, let me just give you an update on an application from round 9 that I know weighed pretty heavily on your minds. This was an application that we took up during the last call. It was an application from Principal Mabry in Onslow County, and he's at Swansboro Middle School. He had asked for funding for group counseling sessions for some of the students who'd been traumatized by the storm, you'll recall. And the board, it was a difficult decision, and it was hard to reconcile with the board's criterion that funds go to replace things lost or damaged as a result of the storm. And so we denied that application. However, you tasked me with being in touch with DHHS following that phone session, that executive committee meeting. And I just wanted to report back to you that I have been in touch with DHHS. A wonderful colleague at DHHS was back in touch and is willing to lend a hand in that circumstance, trying to connect with Principal Mabry as soon as possible to think about how that might work in the months going forward and back into the start of the next school year. So I wanted you to have that update. it was a great idea on the part of the executive committee, and we hope that bears fruit. Chairman Davis mentioned that round 13 is the final round of applications that you designated for FAST NC. That round closes this Friday, and so we're hopeful of a good round here in this, or a good number of applications here in this closing round. So on to the new applications for your consideration. We have a round 11 application. There was only one application in round 11. We were a little surprised by that, but then we realized that round 11 closed on Good Friday, and our colleagues may have been preoccupied at that time with thoughts of spring break and that sort of thing. So we did get just the one application in round 11. This is the application from Tabor City Elementary School, Ms. Sanderson. If you'll turn to that application, we had a little bit of a challenge making the numbers reconcile in the first iteration of the grant. I asked for a new budget for new budget details, and we got a lot closer that time. And you see some items penciled in the application sheet. Those items that are penciled in do reconcile the items for which we had remaining issues, and you see penciled in at the last page the correct total amount of $1,590.68. That said, these materials replace instructional materials and supplies that were lost or damaged as a result of the storm. I had a good talk with Ms. Sanderson about what happened as a result of the storm, and so these definitely meet the board's criteria. Now that we have the budget reconciled, the steering committee recommends approval of Ms. Sanderson's application.
Any questions from colleagues on this one? Okay. Mr. Ward, why don't we see if we can package some of these up and put them together in a single vote? If we have any that sort of stand out as needing separate consideration, we can
Sure, that's a great plan. In fact, we have two more from Tabor City Elementary School, so maybe we might package those three from Columbus County together if that works. The second application is from Ms. Hammond, and Ms. Hammond's application is an application for $710. These funds will go to replace math resources and a teacher guide that they are securing through Curriculum Associates. These replace items, as you've seen in the application, that were damaged as a result of, there was water damage from the hurricane. I did call and speak to Ms. Hammond as well, and she reiterated the points that she made in the application itself about storm damage. So this meets the board's criteria, and the steering committee is pleased to recommend that you approve Ms. Hammond's application. The third application, I'm sorry, any questions? I beg your pardon, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Mr. Ward.
Okay, the third application from Tabor City Elementary School is from Ms. Wright. Ms. Wright had a computer damaged as a result of the storm and is requesting funds to replace that computer. She's requested $750, and you see the material or the information about the laptop that she will be replacing. Apparently, she gets a fair amount of use out of this laptop, not only personally, but with her students. She's asking for some wipes and for a couple of packs of printer ink. Total comes to $750.21. She's only asking for $750. So that's the three applications from Tabor City Elementary School in Columbus County, Mr. Chair. We recommend approval of Ms. Wright's application as well.
last one.
Chair Davis, this is Amy White. So the laptop, is this I'm driving, you guys, so I looked at all the information and I'm not looking at actual paperwork. In the description of this, she mentions, I think her words were, the school used Title I funds to purchase smart boards. And then she goes on to say that she needed a laptop to hook up to the smart board.
Right.
Is this okay? So did she have a laptop to begin with?
She did.
Because it sounds like that. Okay. She just
Yes.
said in the other part of that paragraph, she says, "I've used so much money to replace things that I've lost that I don't have enough money to buy another laptop." So I'm just giving it the snuff test. Is this, she had a laptop for sure?
Yes, I called and asked her about it. And in item 10 of the application, she mentions that with these funds, she'll purchase a laptop, quote, to replace the one that she had before Hurricane Florence. That her classroom was drenched during the storm. And then when I talked to her, she even says, "I thought I could continue to use the one I had after it dried out, but it has since, it didn't last long, it died."
That is perfect. That's the exact verification I needed. Thank you so much, Chairman Ward.
Thank you, Ms. White. I always appreciate your questions.
Sorry. Just asking.
No. I meant that in complete sincerity. You've asked some of the best questions along the way, and we've had a better process as a result of the questions you've asked. I thank you for that one as well.
Well, I appreciate that.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the three Tabor City, Columbus County, Tabor City Elementary, Columbus County applications? So moved. Motion by Vice
And
Chair
I'll
Duncan.
second.
Is there a second? Second by Ms. White. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Dr. Townsend Smith?
Yes. Dr. Oxendine,
Yes.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Vice Chair Duncan,
Yes.
Chair Davis.
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Great. Mr. Ward?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and board members. The next application is from Onslow County, Silverdale Elementary School, Ms. Galetti. Ms. Galetti requested $35,979. The request is for the initiation of a new program. It's a Fontes and Pinnell guided reading system. In my conversation with her, it sounds like an incredibly meritorious approach to instruction. However, the steering committee concluded that it falls outside the criterion of replacing things lost or damaged as a result of the storm. From time to time, we've had to make some close calls about that definition of lost and damaged, and the board's worked with us in several instances on that, but we just couldn't quite get this one to fit the criterion, and so we're recommending disapproval of the Silverdale Elementary School application from Ms. Galetti. Mr. Chair, we may want to deal with this one separately since the next one is a recommendation for approval.
Agreed. Questions on this one before I seek a motion? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion to approve the recommendation, which is to not approve the application from Silverdale Elementary in Onslow County?
I move approval of the recommendation not to approve the application of Silverdale Elementary.
Second by Ms. White, second by Vice Chair Duncan. Any discussion? Hearing none, Dr. Townsend Smith?
Yes. Dr. Oxendine?
Yes.
Ms. White?
Yes.
Vice Chair Duncan?
Yes.
Chair Davis?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Okay, Mr. Ward?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The final application for rounds 11 and 12 is an application from Long Branch Elementary School in Robinson County. Ms. Jackson submitted the application. The media center at Long Branch suffered some water damage. There was an incredible amount of mold and other kinds of issues, according to Ms. Jackson. And Ms. Jackson is requesting funds to the tune of $3,137.86 to replace carpeting, matting, some cushions, and other furnishings that were damaged as a result of the storm. The steering committee recommends approval.
Questions on this application?
Only a quick question. I assume that this is clearly outside what the insurance coverage would undertake to recover.
Yes, sir. I posed that question, and she said yes, they were not going to get insurance money to cover this, and the superintendent certified that this was outside the scope of insurance coverage or governmental funding coverage as well through her signature on the application.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve this recommendation?
So moved.
Motion by Dr. Oxendine, a second.
Second.
Second by Ms. White. Any discussion? Hearing none, Dr. Townsend Smith?
Yes, sir. Dr. Oxendine?
Yes.
Ms. White?
Yes.
Vice Chair Duncan?
Yes.
Chair Davis?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Mr. Chair, that concludes the applications for rounds 11 and 12. I look forward to joining the board again soon to look at the applications from the final round.
Thank you again, Mr. Ward. We look forward to seeing you at our next meeting when we'll recognize these school districts and schools, and again, the terrific work that you and the FAST NC team are doing. So thank you very much. Our thanks to everyone for participating on this executive committee of the State Board of Education. Our business is concluded, and I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Olivia.
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Dr. Oxendine, second by
Second.
Ms. White. Thank you. Dr. Townsend Smith?
Yes, sir. Dr. Oxendine?
Yes.
Ms. White?
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Chair Duncan?
Yes.
Chair Davis?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Thanks so much. We are adjourned. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day, guys.
Mike Ward.
Has left the conference.